What's up, folks? It's Big Boy here with RFC owner Joe Valdez, black belt John Burke, and the 155-pound Florida State champion Ryan "Who Dat" Keenan. This is Real Talk. We're talking about RFC 31. It was a great night of fights. Ryan "Who Dat" Keenan won the 155-pound belt, but there was a lot of other talent there as well. Joe, you had Justo Martinez fighting Tito Rodriguez, and Justo pulled it off. What'd you think about that win?
Yeah, that was turning into an exciting fight. I don't know if you've seen it, John. That was back and forth. It was going good, and then an illegal knee.
Yeah, the illegal knee
Tito.
throw by Tito. It was a no contest. Justo won the fight, but good job for those guys. Hopefully we'll see Tito again. Another fight was the debuters, 205. We had Mike Muffin Man Miller versus Kelly Bodell, and let me tell you, the Muffin Man surprised me, Joe.
He looked good. He came out there, and Kelly's an amateur champion too, making his debut. And Miller came out there and did what he did. He surprised everybody. Made it look easy.
Yeah, for sure.
You seen that one?
Yeah, you step up to the cage. Some people, they embrace that adrenaline rush and embrace that atmosphere, and some people buckle or just have a harder time with it, adapting. You know, and just the title of professional adds a little bit of that extra,
That's
stress.
a good point. We talked about that on a whole show one day, and these amateurs are coming in with so many fights and amateur titles, and on that night when they're making their pro debut.
You hear those two words put together, pro debut, and it
Good
adds
point.
that extra stress value to it that some people can't handle,
Good point, John.
It was a good one. Another great two debuters, well, actually one debuter we had was Rory Every and Abby Vasquez. Abby Vasquez is a Tampa local. Rory Every's out of the Armory with it's Mike Vasquez over there. And Roy pulled off a pretty good win in the decision. Joe, a couple nice 135ers added to the pool there.
Yeah, real big talent there, both of them. Two other amateur champions there too, and Rory pulled off the win. He comes from the Armory Daytona with Crunkleton, Richard Crunkleton out there.
Yeah, it's a good camp. It's a solid camp. A lot of heart shown, and at that weight, the lighter weight, they're going to move a lot faster, so there's far less room for mistake because the execution's so precise at that speed. So you got to be careful with that, and it paid off for him.
Yeah, I love the.
He was in our locker room.
Yeah,
right? He had all the tattoos.
Yeah.
He was in our locker room. Seemed like a really nice
good
guy.
Dude too. Good dude. Good energy.
Solid kid. Tough as nails, man.
That
was a tough fight because Abby was
no slouch.
No slouch.
Yeah, I hope you're looking to bring Rory back on the next RFC.
He's coming back in November.
Another one I want to talk about is Matt Ferriola and Tony Leone. Again, two amateur champions showing that new breed. Went all the way to the decision. Matt Ferriola pulled it off. What a bloody war, Joe. Wow.
Yeah, two champions, two amateur champions. Tony has 30-something fights, kickboxing, MMA, everything. And Ferriola showed up, man, training with Kevin Abrante out here in Orlando. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. Mm-hmm. And Ferriola did his work. Looked good. Yeah,
to take that fight all the way to the end, both guys proved they could step up to the game. That pro debut situation, and it was impressive to watch. I mean, it was exciting, and you don't want to leave it in the judge's hands, but sometimes you just don't have a choice.
Fight of the night. Tony's upset. Tony, I don't know if you've seen that fight. Tony's upset. He thought he won it.
It was a close
fight.
When you're the one in that cage, it's obviously there's a lot of heart and passion behind it, and it's a tough decision to make that. But someone's got to do it, Joe.
Yeah,
that was a damn good fight.
Yeah,
damn good fight.
I didn't get to leave the locker room too much, but when the guys
were
coming back.
Why? What were you doing there?
We had this little title. What was this? Oh, we're going shopping at Sears.
But when the guys come back in the locker room and you get to hear from the coaches, you get to talk to them and see everything. So I felt like I kind of got like a little recap of every fight in the back, even though I didn't get to see it. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Every fight I didn't get to.
Who was in your locker room? Leone or Ferriola?
Bloody.
Was he the jungle?
Yeah.
Yes.
The guy in the jungle.
And they were snapping shots back there. Aaron Conway.
They were busted up.
Because a guy that I had fought,
Aaron
Conway, was in his corner. So me and Aaron were talking. Then his fighter came back and. Man, like bloody wreck. Like there was a second where when he was looking at himself in the mirror, I'm like looking at him in the mirror.
Everyone's jaw was like,
I was like, oh my, but he won.
That didn't affect you.
No.
I say that kidding. No, I know this guy.
But
listen, really.
Hey man, I've been there. I've seen guys.
What was Caroline? The girl that fought for us before, Caroline, that used to be with Ralph and Portugal.
Yeah.
She's fighting one day. Okay, she's dancing around at the weigh-ins, love it, dancing around, thinking, wow, this girl's not nervous. Look at all the guys. Not nervous. She comes out. She asks me to put her up later in the card. I don't like doing that with people starting out. You know, it gets to you, right? She was like, not the night of the fight. Yeah, I love this, Joe. Thanks, right? She comes in there. She tells me all of a sudden, as the guys start coming in the back room, all busted up, she was a wreck.
Yeah,
When she shot her load, she got tired when she came out.
She had that adrenaline before she ever stepped out there.
Yeah.
It's real,
Yeah.
right? It's one thing to lead up to
You
it.
used to not let me look at guys when they came back. When I first
made
started
him turn
out,
his back
he'd
the
be like,
other
turn
day.
around, because this guy walking in is a bloody
You'd
man.
see a
You
guy
don't
with
want
his
to.
arm out
It's
to
all good.
here.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no, it works.
I
Look
wouldn't
at
let
the
Yeah.
story with Caroline.
I just iced him out. I wouldn't let him.
Yeah,
let
so
him
you
see
know
it.
a little bit about the
Yeah,
fight
just a
game.
little bit. A little bit.
On to our next
Not
one.
just a pretty boy.
Not just.
We're going to talk about the A&E reality star, Brad the Axeman Taylor. He fought Jay Bahari. Jay Bahari's from Gracie, Tampa West. That was another good fight. Went into the decision. Brad Taylor pulled it off in the decision. But, man, wow, two great athletes putting on a great show.
Yeah, Brad Taylor, you know, he showed 30-something amateur fights, titles from probably every city. Real disappointed in his showing that night. Apologizing over and over, told the crowd, Brad was the X-Man, that he's going to come back next time, guarantees a finish. Matter of fact, he wants Dave Mendel. He wants to come down 170 and wants Dave Mendel.
Is that
You
November?
guys are familiar with Dave.
Yep.
Nice, that's good.
Maybe it wasn't the appropriate weight class. You know, to come in with that many amateur titles and that dominant of a resume, and then to just squeak out a decision win. I mean, look, I'm a Gracie Tampa fan through and through, all day, every day. And we know Rob and Metaroyo and Bamboo.
And Jay Bahari.
Yeah, and they don't produce anything but the best. And to just squeak out a win with that type of a resume and that type of an experience level, to me says that something, maybe the weight class is too much for him.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. You know what I mean? It just didn't add up. So, but he got it.
Next fight, we're going to talk about this one. This is a guy from World Class Fight League, Luis Zakira and Jason Valley. Luis was another amateur champ coming from the World Class Fight League, fighting Jason Valley, and he pulled off a nice, quick, impressive win. Joe, what do you see about this kid Jason in the future? I mean, not Jason, Luis.
Well, I see Jason gave him trouble.
Yeah,
And
Jason
Lewis
did.
is another amateur champion making his pro debut there. Jason's coming off not that good of a pro record, 1-2, but he's fought some good guys. Okay, never really was with a solid camp, spending much time. He got hooked up with Kevin Abronte in the jungle again, put his time in, and he gave Lewis all he can handle in that fight.
Yeah, you know, I feel sometimes records can be deceiving. You know what I mean? You look at something on paper, and in theory, and it's a tough job for you guys, the matchmaking game. You look at something on paper, but then you look at stepping up to the plate. I mean, because look, you can be 1-2, but who were those two guys?
Right.
Or you can be 7-1. Who
Exactly.
were those 7 guys?
Right.
So,
and where you been lately since your last
correct.
fight? Where
Like
you been?
changing
what
the
you been doing?
camps?
Exactly.
What's your approach? How do you
Exactly.
take that loss? What do you do?
You
with
got to
it?
kind of know that fighter too, where
For
he's been.
sure.
You got to know a little bit
Personality
about him,
and
you know,
track record and history, and you know, you get a lot of nomads in this game. A
You
lot
almost
of
have
people
to be
jump
personal
ship.
with him.
Yeah, you got to, for sure.
So that was a great win by with Luis, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in the RFC as well. Here's a good one. This is one you're gonna like. This is actually one of your partners in your last camp, Billy Q versus Luis Figueroa. All right, Billy is one of my favorite 145-pound fighters. He's from Gracie, Tampa South. Great camp. He pulled off the win against Isaac, and man, this kid's career is just blossoming every day. What do you think about his future, Joe?
It's good. I've seen Billy fight from the amateurs all the way to pros. He's solid, one loss, but that fight was taken on the last minute against a solid professional. I wasn't real crazy about that fight happening, but Billy and them were tough. Billy and Matt wanted that fight, and he learned from it. He came back, and he looked good the other night.
Yeah, for sure. Billy's a good kid too, you know, and I believe if you if you operate from the right approach to fighting, you know, a lot of people take fighting as, oh, I want to beat them up. And I always coach Ryan on, it's not about beating them up, it's about performing to your best and maximizing your skill sets while you're out there. If you do that right, then you let the cards fall where they may. If you go with that negative approach, you know, I usually find, even at the most elite level, people going with that tough guy, that bad boy attitude.
Sometimes that's all they have.
That's all they have, right? And at some
when
point,
you run into another tough guy as tough as you with skills,
it's
different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that tough will only get you so far.
Yeah, and Billy's a good dude, so I feel like he goes in with skills, with solid camp, and with the right approach mentally. You know, it's defeatable. Obviously, everyone loses, but that's a far stronger strategy, I think.
And for my camp, Billy was one of my main sparring partners, and he's awesome. Like, he's tough as nails. ready to go at all times. The guy who's fought was undefeated, right? Undefeated, or
I think.
Or he had a really good
Undefeated.
record. Yeah, I think he was undefeated, right?
Yeah, good amateur.
And-
Oh, he was from the
background.
Riot.
Yeah.
Jamie Harrison.
Yeah,
Right,
from
that's right.
Jacksonville.
Isaac, he was
Solid.
tough.
And
Yep.
then Billy had fought like
I scouted him.
3 weeks prior to, like, out of state. You know what I mean? Came back, right back to another camp, ready for the RFC. So props to Billy.
And
man.
I don't usually do that too much. Let a guy take a fight like that.
Yeah. Not
much
within 30
recovery
days.
time there.
No, but Billy, I'm okay with.
Because he
Billy,
won first round armbar like 10 seconds. or
Yeah,
something.
and I know what
Against the
he's
black
about
belts,
and stuff like
supposedly,
that. You know,
Yeah,
Billy
black
Billy can fight once a month. You know,
I
he's that type.
believe
He
it.
can go once a month.
I believe it.
Another one of that was in your camp that helped you out was Dave Mundell versus Jay Marrero. Jay Marrero was coming from Frontline Fitness. He came off of a win, and now he was facing Dave Mundell. I thought it was going to be a little bit of a tougher fight, but Dave Mundell came in and stopped that fight. And man, wow, Dave Mundell's blowing up.
So did I. I had picked that to be fight of the night, and I was wrong. Dave actually handled Jay pretty easy and stopped him, I believe. And Dave's looking better. Every fight he's looking better and better. He's 3-0 now. I think we got some big things coming up for him in November.
Yeah, Dave's definitely tough, man. He's definitely tough. And
You guys are familiar with Dave?
Yeah, without a doubt.
I got to train with him. He's from Bamboo School, but he would come over to Matt's too. I mainly trained at Matt Arroyo's gym. So when Dave was in the gym, I got to train with him. And man, just like all those other guys, tough as nails. Great training partner. You know, he put it on me my whole camp. So dude's tough. And 170, right? 170, yeah. I think at weigh-ins he was actually talking about maybe 55, but didn't like the.
It's a tough cut. It's a tough cut.
Yeah,
tough
he
guy.
should stay right where he's at, I think.
All right, cool. Our beef fight of the night, the fight that kind of pulled up the attention, and two guys that had a little animosity against one another, that called one another out at the RFC prior to this, was Sean Hollis and Joe the Puncher Johnson. It was another great fight. Two big guys in the cage punching it out, but Sean pulled it off, knocked Joe out. Joe, were you surprised?
No, I wasn't surprised. I knew it could happen. Actually, Joe Johnson was favored going into that fight. Joe Johnson beat Ronnie Phillips. Ronnie Phillips beats...
Joe Johnson beats Ronnie Phillips. Ronnie Phillips beats Hollis. Yep.
beats Hollis, and then Hollis
Calls out.
says he'll take Joe Johnson, which is good. I like that.
Right.
A guy calls him out, and he stepped up to the plate and he stopped him.
Yeah.
Most people around Tampa were thinking Joe Johnson was going to win that fight.
Yeah, the mental fortitude plays a part too.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you're the guy calling someone out, you know, you believe it that much that can be enough to edge it out. You know.
Yeah, and calling out the guy who beat the guy who beat you.
Right. Yeah. So there's a psychological game to that too.
I think
you know,
so, yeah.
you're the guy and you're getting called out by somebody who, you know, law of syllogism and math, A is greater than B, B is greater than C. In theory, A should eat C up, and it just doesn't always work.
Yeah, I agree.
Good job, Sean, and hopefully we'll be looking for a rematch with Ronnie Phillips and Sean Hollis. There's one more fight that we're going to talk about on the RFC 31. It was a great night of fights. We really don't care much about that main event fight because
Who's seen that?
who cares? There's some guy named Ryan Keenan. Who dat? Nobody knows who that is.
Who dat?
And Ivan the Angry Bird DeValgi. Obviously, our man here came home with the gold. Great job. Listen, awesome fight. We're going to talk a little bit about that later on in the show, man. That was the recap for RFC 31. Anything else you guys want to talk about RFC 31?
No, man, great night of fights. It was a pleasure to be a part of. It was good to be a spectator as well as a participant.
Stay tuned. What's up, folks? It's Big Boy here at RFC 31 New Breed. I'm standing here with the man himself, Gian La Pulga Herrera, the 125 and 135-pound state champ. Gian, you're spectating tonight. Doesn't look like you're fighting. How's it feel to be a spectator?
Being a spectator is the best feeling ever. I'm not cornering anybody, so I'm not stressed out. I'm just here to enjoy this sick card that the RFC has put together. I got a lot of guys winning. A lot of these guys are nasty locals. Keep your eyes out on them. They're on the rise.
Gion's training over here in Tampa at Team Def 4 Team Darkside. You got a couple guys on the card tonight too. What do you expect to see from these guys on your team?
Yeah, man, we got Tito and Jay. These guys are animals. We train together. You know how we train over on Darkside. You know, we got a couple of champions out of there. I train out of there. So we're just ready to handle business. I have full confidence in my guys, and we're going to go in there and do it.
All right, folks, looks like RFC 31's about to start. Gian Herrera, you enjoy yourself tonight, brother. The big champ, RFC Real Talk, RFC 31 New Breed. What's up, folks? It's Big Boy here at RFC 31 New Breed. I'm standing here with the man, Prince Fielder, and John Burke. You guys are here to see who dat fight tonight. John's the trainer. Prince is a fan. How excited are you to see this fight?
Oh, very excited. You know, Ryan's like family. I'm just really excited to see him fight and, you know, see him win.
Now, John, is Prince going to be fighting soon?
No. The only fighting Prince is going to do is against the pitchers, hitting the ball out of the park.
That's right. Listen, that's the same answer that Marcus Jones told me when I said, "Are you going to fight again?" He went, "No." But listen, Prince, enjoy tonight. RFC, you see our atmosphere here with John Burke. You guys enjoy tonight. Thanks for coming. And anything you want to say to the fans about Ryan?
Yeah, he's going to win. How about that? Simple.
Confidence folk here at RFC 31 New Breed. Thank you so much to these guys. We'll see you out there. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Kawhi.
Thanks, Prince. All right, now that we've talked a little bit about the fights and what happened at RFC 31, it's time for us to talk about the awards. Fight of the night, submission of the night, knockout of the night, and the no judges needed best finish of the night. Fight of the night obviously was going to a fight that was hard because it was a tough card. There was a lot of great fights. It was hard to pick, Joe. There was one fight in my mind that stood out above everybody else's, and it was the bloody war between Ferriola and Tony Leone. Wow, that's fight of the night. Why do you think they earned it?
Oh, they earned it. A lot of fights were good, close, but most of the panel that we have picked for this have picked them for it. It was a close. Like Tony thought he won the fight. Tony lost the fight. He wasn't busted up. Matt won the fight. He was all busted up. So it was close, real close.
It was a close decision. That just proves to the fighters, listen, guys, you can't take it in the judges. We know how important that is. Fight of the night for the RFC 31. Matt Ferriola, Tony Leone. Oh, was that like the third one in a row that I picked, I think, maybe? Fight of the night?
Let's move on.
Okay. All right, so next we're going to move on to knockout of the night. Knockout of the night was between two giant men in the cage. Sean Hollis knocks out Joe the Puncher Johnson. Wow, what a shot. I hope Joe's okay.
Yeah, it was a hard knockout. It took him a while to revive him, and it was ironic. Joe Johnson, you remember Joe Johnson?
Yeah, I do.
Used to train Rob Combs,
Yeah.
ex-boxer
Yep.
with 20-some pro heavyweight boxing
Yeah.
fights. He gets knocked out by
which-
Hollis.
Talk about
Yeah.
irony. I
Yeah.
mean, that's crazy,
Yeah.
But hey, look, it's the
MMA.
fight game, right? Anything can
Small
happen.
gloves.
Boxing and MMA are two different worlds.
Yep,
two
two
different
different.
worlds.
Submission of the night. Pretty easy that night. I mean, it wasn't too hard of a decision to make. We had a great
We had to
submission.
give it to somebody that night.
It was hard. It was like pulling teeth to try to give it to someone. Submission of the night was won by Ryan Keenan. Ryan, why don't you tell us how you won that one?
So, it's a weird thing. Me and John, I swear, what was a couple weeks before? A buddy of ours, a good friend of John's, Ben Henderson, won a fight
I heard
with.
of that guy before.
Yeah, he won his fight. He kind of stunned the guy up against the cage. Dude dropped. Ben threw a rear naked choke on without throwing any hooks in.
Cross-side standing.
And John called me in. He said, "Look at this."
And Hoist
He
and
said,
Shamrock.
"Yeah." He said, "If you ever see this without throwing, you know what I mean, the guy's out,
Right.
throw this rear naked choke on." Swear to God, this was a couple weeks prior
Literally
to my
about
fight.
14 days out.
And I had Ivan Rock. We were up against the cage, and I remember him starting to get back up. He was coming up to all fours, and I just saw the neck was just hanging out. So I just boom threw the rear naked choke on, no hooks, and finished the same way. And as soon as the fight was over, I was like, we talked about that exact
Unreal.
the exact move. You know what I mean? So it just worked out that way. But so rear naked choke, no hooks in.
That was an awesome
Yeah,
submission.
it was awesome. Worked
Nice.
out
He
pretty
was
good.
out. They had to revive him as well. But man, awesome submission tonight. Great coaching, John. Awesome weight, good technique.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's definitely something awesome. The last award of the night that we're giving is given to you by our sponsor, No Judges Needed. It's the No Judges Needed finish of the night. Take a breath. I know you just finished talking,
Yeah.
but let's talk about that, Mr. Keenan, because you won that as well.
Yeah.
Finish of the night, bam, what's going through your head?
Which that's good to get that because this is voted on, and it was between
Yeah.
the knockout of the night and
Yep.
it was submission of the night, and you won it.
I was
And
gonna say
those are
that.
fans
Yeah,
voting on
yeah.
that.
That's
pretty
They're
cool.
fans voting.
It
on
was
that.
the Facebook thing. We were announcing it in all of our
Yeah.
classes. I was making sure all my
Probably
buddies
because
in
all the fans are there
Ohio-
for you, huh?
Yeah. So I was making sure all my buddies in Ohio were on it. My sister was on top of it here at the gym announcing it.
He has a few.
You know what I mean? So we were staying on top of the votes, and I was lucky enough to get it. And then they sent me, you know what I mean, some No Judges Needed T-shirts, some hats. So it was awesome, man. It was
Nice.
really cool.
So I imagine that we can pretty much say that Shaq and Prince Fielder voted for you.
I think they did, actually. I think they did.
Listen, great job. That's 2 awards you won. You won Submission of the Night and the No Judges Needed Finish of the
Well
Night.
deserved.
Congratulations to
Thank you
you,
very
Keenan.
much. Thank
That's
you.
the awards for the night. Again, real quick, we had Fight of the Night was Matt Ferriola, Tony Leone. Submission of the night, our man right here, Ryan Keenan. Knockout of the night, Sean Hollis. And the no judges needed finish of the night, who dat?
Who dat?
Watch the back of the head. He's got to stay off the mohawk, but he is throwing with fierce intention.
And he just locked up a choke, Benny. He's got it in deep. What? It's going to go. That's going to be it.
If he does not tap, he's going to go to sleep. The ball is not one to tap. You will not tap out. John Osgood calls the fight.
Hey guys, Jonathan Berg, certified Hoist Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt in Winter Garden, Florida. Owner and head coach of the 6 Levels Orlando MMA Fitness and Training Center. We would like to extend an open invitation to anybody who wants to come try our sessions for free. We have youth program, adult program, as well as an awesome MMA fitness program. Men, women, children, anyone's welcome, ages 4.5 and up. Hope to see you there. 6levelsorlando.com.
We're going to finish up Real Talk right now by talking about the RFC 31 main event, 155-pound title between Ryan Houdat Keenan and Ivan the Angry Bird the Valje. Listen, Keenan, you won the fight. You looked sharp. Coach, your fighter was amazing. What did you do to prepare, and who did you train with to go and be out that explosive?
You know what I mean? What I did to prepare was obviously here with John, my jiu-jitsu coach, and my overall MMA coach every day. You know what I mean? Here, luckily enough, through his connection, I get to go to Tampa and train with those guys, those savages in Tampa. You know what I mean, Joe? I would see you after training sessions. I'd walk in and get tickets off him, black-eyed. I would see you.
Yeah. With a black eye one day.
One day you were like, man, do you heard of Vaseline? I'm like, I had Vaseline on, man, but I'm getting trash. So I got to go to Matt school twice a week, train with those guys. And then another huge part of it is John gets to send me, or you know, he sends me out to Arizona. And I get to train at the MMA lab with those guys. Man, I can't even tell you how many UFC guys are there, Bellator guys. So just getting beat up. You know what I mean, is the best way to put it. Getting beat up, putting in my time, training, my rounds in, and that's basically it.
But you know, the funny thing is, it sounds like it's great to know John Burt, but it also, you're gonna get beat up if you know him as well.
That's what I'm saying, right? I love him to death. He gets me beat up.
Yeah.
Well, then, on a serious note, that's good. John's open-minded. There's a lot of trainers. One thing with the trainers, the Eagle thing, the trainer, my name, my gym, you stay under my roof. You don't. And John's open enough to do whatever's best for the fighter. Send him here, send him there, pull guys in, do whatever's best for the fighter, and it paid off.
Absolutely. And you know, I put a lot of work in. We didn't get to do too much stand-up. It was more of a clinch. But the elbows came in. I've been doing a lot of Muay Thai. You know what I mean? A lot of Muay Thai. So that paid off a lot with my buddy Paul Mulfort working on my elbows and my clinch work. So that was another huge part of the game. And then bringing it all together. You know what I mean? Like you said, John, he lets me go to all these different places. But everything I pick up, then I bring back to him.
Sure.
And then he refines it, puts it all together.
Puts it together.
It's awesome. You know, it all works out perfect for me.
Yeah, and the sparring partners are a big thing. Not
Huge.
everybody.
Yeah.
That's huge. And me and him talked about that before.
I
Before
mean,
the fight, talked about
those
that.
resources
Huge.
are vital because, you know, my particular gym, you know, MMA for the terms of marketing and commercializing, but the reality is I don't have fighters here. Ryan's my only fighter. So not only am I open with no ego, but I'm not the guy going into the cage. You know, it's his face and his body in front of those fists, kicks, shins, elbows, what have you. So I'm going to send him. I'm going to make sure he's as prepared as possible. And at the end of the day, he can bring it back to me, and then we can tighten it up, me and him. But as far as sparring partners, you've got to look out beyond your own camp.
But you'd be surprised how many guys don't, John.
No,
I can tell
not-
you guys that were a lot of fights, and I've showed up at the camps and what they call camp, and they had guys starting out in there, guys way smaller than them, never done. I'm thinking, you crazy? I know a guy fighting for Bellator one night, and that's the camp he ran.
Right.
Guy starting out.
You can't do that. I mean, John Crouch, who runs the MMA Lab, who's a very, very well-renowned Hoist Gracie black belt UFC coach. Him and I talk about Ryan all the time, and you know, I purposely haven't sparred with Ryan for his last couple fights because it doesn't serve. I walk at 210, so Ryan's effect on me is going to be totally different than his effect on at the time 170 and now 155. You know, he's not going to move a 210 guy with some of his shoulder checks or some of his clinch work. I can just take him and turn him maybe, but with the 155 guys. So it's not only the quality of the individuals in terms of weight class, but it's also making sure that, you know, they know what they're doing, and that coach, wherever you're sending them, is good too. Right. It's one thing to look outside your camp and just get new bodies and tough guys 55ers or 70 or what have you, but is where you're sending your fighter. Is their coach also on point with the game plan? Does he understand the game?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sending him to John
You can
Crowd.
go get 5
Well, that's it.
mass
You can go-
monsters somewhere.
Bingo.
Yeah, don't do nothing.
You can
yeah.
go to a local high school wrestling team.
Yeah.
But I'm going to John Crouch, who's came up with me, hoist black belt, runs some of the top UFC fighters. I'm going to Matt Arroyo, Rob Kahn, both black belts came up with me, runs UFC, former UFC guys, runs fight. So I'm going to guys that are like-minded in both coaching as well as training. So I know that it's staying consistent across the board. So that's why it works.
So you look really good that night.
I
really
appreciate
good.
it. Thank you.
And I've known Ryan before, and he's fought for us years ago. And the biggest difference that I was thinking what was going to happen is from that time he had off, the couple years he had off, was that going to hurt him?
Yep.
Still knowing
Of
that
course.
these guys are going to do their work and all that, but sometimes
Ring rust.
ring
absolutely.
rust, and not only that, the fight game is small. You got a real small window.
Correct.
You take a real small window. Some guys are never the same after taking a year or two off. Never the same.
Or don't get back.
Never get
Or
back.
just don't come back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know, that was a legitimate concern of ours. We sat down, we had a good long talk about it. And obviously, it's not my job to stand in his way. It's just my job to present like an attorney. I'm going to present you with what I feel is the best route, the best opinion, best advice. It's ultimately your decision. And it was, Ryan, you've had 2 fights off, or 2 years off. This is your first one at 55. You're coming off of pretty ugly loss, which he knows and we know. You know, mentally, are you there? Why are you fighting? The number one question I just kept asking is, why are you doing it?
Yeah,
Why are you
well,
doing
me and
it?
you talked about
Yeah,
it. I think
why?
I even asked you, are you sure?
Right.
Are you sure? Does he want it? Do you
And
want
I said
it, John?
him and I've always said to you, we're
And
talking.
You told me that. You
We're
told me
talking.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to find out what the real reason is. And I say that, and you know, people watching this may say, well, duh, he wants to. No, there's always something deeper. Ryan cares about people. He doesn't want to let people down. After one of his losses, he was apologizing to people. So me, as sitting back going, he's saying he's sorry for what? You know, like, you're sorry that you went out there, competed, and lost. So my concern is making sure he's fighting for the right reason. And if so, then, I mean, I'll support him no matter what. But if he's fighting for the right reason, then I believe we have doubly good chance. And it paid off. He was there for the right reason. Yeah.
It was a great fight, man. Congratulations on
Thank
your
you
win.
very much.
One last question. How does it feel to be the 155-pound Florida State champ?
Dude, it's an awesome feeling. It really is. It's cool, dude.
For those 5 people in the crowd that night, they were
Yeah,
happy.
yeah.
For his
5
5 fans
people.
that night, they were
Yeah,
happy.
you know what I mean? It's cool, like, because I run the kids program here, so bringing the belt in to my kids' class.
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean?
That was
Now,
awesome.
even, like, I was used to when I go to Arizona, everybody calls Ben champ. Like, you know what I mean? Champ, what's up, champ, what's up, champ? It's weird that people in here, what's up, champ? What's up, champ? I'm like, yeah, and you know what I mean? It's different, but it's super cool.
Yeah.
You know, I took the fight not knowing before it was a title fight, and I wanted to fight. I won the win, and then to get the belt on top of that, man, just made it.
That's good,
that
and I
much
was
cooler.
worried about that because it was done last minute. Normally, I don't do
Yeah.
stuff like that. It was miscommunication. I didn't want to, him coming off a loss before. Them guys were bitching about that too, but I didn't want to throw that extra pressure on him there. And it went the other way.
Yeah.
He livened up with it. I don't know
Oh,
how
no, we
you
got
felt
excited.
about it.
When you called me, I hung up. I said, what's the angle here?
Yeah.
Me
You always
being
think
running
there's
out.
an angle.
What's the
Always
angle?
there.
What's the angle? No, but the truth is this. This is what we talked about.
For
with
me,
some of the
it didn't
fighters.
benefit me because I would have promoted it 2 months before.
Yeah, no, it was from a promotional
Yeah,
side.
yeah.
It wasn't really.
And I had asked
Right.
you. I had asked Joe. I said, Joe,
Yeah,
are we
and
doing
I
a
said
title
we
fight?
would have agreed about that 2 months before.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, but you know,
something that
here's
came
the
up.
thing. I'm big into the mind. You know, meditation, positive energy, and one of the biggest things we worked on besides the physical is him just staying calm and staying present, staying calm, staying present. And he heard me say that a million times. If you guys
He was calm at the
if you
weigh-ins.
rewatch the weigh-ins and the fight, when Ivan was walking in, Ryan was squatting down, just looking me in the eyes, and we're doing one of our little techniques, just calm and present. That way you can go out and execute. The last thing you want to happen, especially after a 2-year layoff, is tunnel vision and adrenaline dump out the gate, because you can be far superior and lose quickly. So my job was to keep that head calm and, calm and present, calm and present, calm and present. That's all he heard from me for like months. Every day, hey, what's up, man? Saying calm and present, just boom, boom, boom.
And he
calm.
was, bro.
He
At
was
the
smooth.
weigh-in, I couldn't
Yeah,
believe
he-
how relaxed you
he
were.
was
Probably
fine.
one of the most, you interviewed everybody at the weigh-in.
He was
Who was the
fine.
most, he came up to me and said, Ryan's like nothing. He's doing the radio show tonight.
And here's the thing with you was that when Ryan came in weeks before to do his pre-fight interviews, you were in the same mentality and the same mindset as he was at weigh-ins and the night of the fight. So you were mellow.
Yeah, my thing was, I've had fights where I've gone in there, like, lock me in this cage, and I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I got myself into this, when it should be reversed. Like, this is the fun part. Like, this is what I work for. And then I've had fights where I, like, bell rings, but I threw a couple punches, like, and I wake up and everybody's like, so what happened? I'm like, I can't tell you. I don't remember the fight. So our whole thing with this, I was like, man, I want to enjoy this. Like, I want to enjoy this.
It really seemed like you did.
And I did. I remembered everything.
I thought the weigh-in was eating it up, the radio in it.
God, it was awesome. I enjoyed every part of it.
And on the other side, I thought the stress and everything got to Ivan. Yeah. At the weigh-in, I seen total opposite of what he was. And normally Ivan's not. He did the real talk. He couldn't do real talk. He was busy. He couldn't make it. Ivan came real talk like nothing. Did it. He was good. And then at the weigh-ins, I seen another Ivan when he refused interviews.
We don't know Ivan, obviously. But from an energetic perspective, sense a lot of nervous energy. And a lot of times when you overdo that tough guy look for the cameras or what have you, there's a lot of nervous energy behind it, and it's protecting some level of fear. You know, a lot of times, not always. And we don't know Ivan, but you
throw in a main event, throw in a title fight,
undefeated, hometown. First fighting a guy's first weight cut at 55, should win this one. Coming off a 2-year dump, coming off a loss. Should have this. No pressure.
Yeah.
So I get
Pressure's there.
You know?
I had Gian tell me that one time when he came out for his first main event. Came out and he told me, Joe,
Crawford.
You know what? I don't know what happened. I came out. He goes, I felt great up to then. I came out. I started hearing the crowd because he comes out with the Spanish music, dancing the crowd, big crowd too.
Yeah.
Brings a couple hundred people too. They're going crazy. They're yelling his name. And he said he looked around the crowd and all of a sudden he started feeling tired. His first main event.
Adrenaline.
That was the Jared Crawford fight.
Yeah, it happens.
He was huffing and puffing in the first round. I'm thinking, wow, look at this.
We trained Ryan's mind as much as we trained his body. That's just
well, he was good. I noticed that he was different. I was worried about the weight cut too. So were they the other side.
I think a lot of people were. Yeah,
he was.
But I was good when I seen you at the gym.
Exactly.
I called him up and said,
he's like, dude.
And Big Boy too.
He was at like 60, 65, like 2 weeks out. I'm like, Joe, we got it.
Yeah,
my concern was getting too light. I was like.
It was starting to come off so quick that we
I
were
was like, I don't want to get too light.
No, he sent me a message one day. Don't worry, Joe. We'll win this title. Maybe we even go for 145.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, I'm checking is the weight good.
That's all you care about.
Don't worry, Joe. Don't worry.
We got it. He was cutting weight real easily. He really was. Day of the fight, we did a light, sweatsuit workout, weighed himself. He was good.
And when I talked to you that night when I ran into Tommy at the UFC in Amway, I was sitting about 175. I had already made up in my mind that I wanted to fight at some point, and I ran into Tommy. Then he was like, "I'll call Joe right now." I was like,
"Hang on, guys, let me talk to Joe." Because me and him always talked about it.
All right, Ryan,
let me talk to Joe.
Yeah, he's partying and he's booking fights, and he's like, "Oh, I'm fighting in 2 months." By the way,
I think, wait a minute, 2 years, 170.
Yeah,
this is 155. 2 years later, let me talk to Joe.
It was a good decision.
Which I love you as a fighter, bro. He knows it. I've talked about you, and when we did real talk, I'm serious. No, I don't bullshit. I've been around some of the best fighters in Florida. And you're one of my favorites. The way you always came to fight, your demeanor, so polite, so professional. But that night coming out, your walkout is unreal, and you're coming to fight.
Yeah,
I've told him, and I've said that on Last Wheel Talk. I love this guy.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Definitely one of my favorite fighters. Obviously, at RFC 31, coach and fighter, all the ailments came together. It was awesome. You guys are grown as a team. I look forward to seeing you grow. Is there any sponsors or anything you guys want to thank? People that helped you throughout this camp? Friends that have been there for you?
A lot.
There is a lot. There's a lot of people that help.
Hudat's got a big stable, so to thank anyone in particular and forget someone,
So the whole team.
We'll save that for the Oscars. We like to thank the 6 Level family.
Yeah.
Everybody. They know who they are.
Yeah.
All right, folks. This takes us to the end of RFC 31 Real Talk. Our man John Burke, the new 155-pound Florida State champ, Hudat, Joe Valdez, and Big Boy. Enjoyed tonight's episode. Thank you very much. I'm standing next to the man himself, Marcus the Darkness Jones. Marcus, former RFC fighter, Buccaneers football player, my ex-training partner, great guy, probably the nicest guy in the whole world. Love to see him here at the RFC. Got some amazing fights. Got your boy Ryan Hudat fighting tonight. What do you think about him?
You know what? He's one of my really good friends. We fought a long time ago in Orlando, and I'm so nervous for him. You know how it is when one of your friends are in a cage. You want them to do so well, man. I'm a big ball of nerves right now, but I appreciate coming back to RFC. I got my start here. This is the birthplace in Tampa for MMA. It's one of those places that you come. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's having a good time. It's a lot of fun, and you just want to see great fights, and you see them. I've yet to see a couple fights go to decision. It's always a finish or a knockout or a submission. I love this place, man. I love this sport.
Listen, if the RFC can get Big Baby's attention and his excitement, we can get your excitement. You heard it from him. Come enjoy the excitement at RFC 31. Marcus, thanks for the interview, brother. Can we see you back in the RFC anytime soon?
No.
See you folks, it's Big Boy.